So we're covering week 2, time management, aka prioritization, right? But before we do that, let's talk about some wins a little bit. Tarsha has some. She just went to see some open houses. She has a great new idea for shooting videos and getting her one video done each week. And what else, Tarsha? You've been just staying consistent, right?
I just been following up with other clients. So
Good.
just keeping in contact. Nothing new. I've had some new people in my pipeline, but nothing has really panned out good. So just still working with people. And I did have a client that started working with last year. So he reached out again this year. So
okay, kind of took a break for a minute and then
yeah, I think he couldn't find what he was looking for. So I kind of thought he forgot about me, but he reached back out. So, and I haven't been keeping to I actually deleted him out of my Chime because he was kind of weird, but he did reach back out. So.
Not that weird, I guess. Then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Welcome everybody. It's a couple other people. Hop on. If you can turn your cameras on, that would be amazing. See your faces, get some interaction. But let me hear like 1 or 2 more wins for the week. Big, small, in between. Come on, nobody has a single win. Who made contacts this week? Who made a video this week? Let's hear about it. Maria.
Okay, there we go. Sorry. I had a closing on Friday.
Yay.
And I did a video about my closing on Friday.
Awesome.
On social media.
Nice. Is video new to you? Is it something you
No, very new,
okay.
Very new. I heard what you were talking about last week, so I practiced. So when I look at it again, I feel like I'm still very nervous at it. Like I can see myself and then looking down at the camera, but I guess I'm my worst critic.
Yeah.
But I did it.
Yeah, well, congrats. That's awesome. And if you don't like that one, that's fine. It's over. Each one will get better as you go, That's awesome. All right.
Was that your first closing?
Sorry, I lost the connection there. No, I'm new to TDRealty about close to 5 months now, like new.
Okay.
So with TDRealty, yes, but I've only been an agent for about 10 months now, 11 months.
Oh, that's good.
Really good.
Nice. Well, congrats again. All right, someone else. One more win.
Congratulations, Maria. I did the same thing. I closed on Wednesday and I did a video with my buyer and also the lender. And from that, I got another interest from that video. So that's the one thing. And then another thing that I did a video on, I went out to one of the new builds and because they're offering this promotion, I posted it on TikTok. And so I have been getting leads from that video.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's good. Thank you. I haven't done any TikTok yet. That's my next monster to conquer.
Trust me, I'm doing it all in fear.
We're doing it anyway, though, right? Awesome. Tamala, you have anything? Share?
Well, I just got on. So what was the question?
We're just sharing wins from the week.
Oh, so yeah, actually, I have another customer. We're working on, the lender is working on, that part, getting her actually, her, what am I trying to say?
Pre-qual.
Approved.
Yeah.
So yeah, that just happened yesterday, kind of just out of the blue, actually. She called me and she's like, I need a house. I said, okay. So anyway, got on it and immediately, gave her, a suggestion for that I have for the lenders. And she went with the one that she chose. And so they're working on it.
Beautiful.
So
Yeah.
I'm waiting. So hopefully, I don't know, tomorrow, I'll hear something. So
Cool. Well, congrats.
well,
We busy week, everybody. We had some wins in the earlier one too. And now I want to go over the numbers a little bit. So on average, as a group, this might be a little off, but it's about right. I don't think it would change the whole number. A few people hopped in before after I calculated the averages, but we're averaging 10 contacts a week. Some are getting more, some are getting less, obviously. And our winner was on this morning session. That was Vanessa. She had 30 contacts this week. And Rhonda was a close second with 27. So got some people really doing some things. Coffee dates, we're averaging 0.5 as a group. And we want to have one a week, one with the personal side, one with the vendor side. Now, there's some people on here that did some coffee dates. Who is it? Tarsha.
Well, it was a phone, but I considered a coffee.
Okay.
But I have a lender that, last week I said I wanted to go after expired. So after we had our meeting, I called this lender. So he offered to pull the current values for me for those properties so that I want to go after. So he'll, give me the values and in my notes, well, in my letter that I'm writing to those previous sellers, I'm going to put their current home values in that. So
Beautiful.
see how
Excellent.
that goes.
So is this a new relationship then? This is a guy you just recently met and
A couple of months ago, and then
Okay.
we're going to do a home buyer seminar.
oh, perfect. Wow.
So
Nice.
see how that goes.
Yeah. Anybody else do the coffee or lunch dates this week?
actually, I have one on Thursday.
Okay.
And so I do. I have one on Thursday and looking forward to it just so that I'll have, more context. I just kind of want to see what, they offer or, how long they've been in business, just because I'm trying to build, my people in terms of, just people that I know. So yeah. But this one is on the, I don't know why I'm super tired today, but when they go inspector, so on the inspection side. So I do have one.
You get a lot of knowledge from them.
Mm-hmm.
Is anyone skeptical or hesitant to call people and invite them to coffee or lunch? Jami, are you signaling to us?
Sorry, I am telling my child to stop talking. That was like,
Okay.
sorry.
All right.
That's so funny.
So it's just a matter of doing it then. No one's skeptical. They just got to get out there and call some folks and set up some meetings.
Also too, another thing that I'm actually setting up and I've actually talked to our pastor at church about is having one of my lender friends like just come in and explain, like people that think that they don't qualify, how she can maybe take a look and maybe help them qualify, but also to introduce myself as a realtor. So he's going to allow us, like I think he said 10 minutes, which kind of is a long time, but to actually talk to the congregation before we let out.
Ooh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I didn't know what else to do.
Yeah, well, that's excellent. It's an amazing step. All right, cool. And so videos, we're averaging 1.5 videos a week. So that's pretty good. We're only looking for one, so we're actually ahead a bit on that one. And handwritten notes, we're only doing 3 a week on average. What's going on out there?
I think last week was really easy because Mother's Day was around the corner. So there was a lot of Popeyes, at least in my situation, there was a lot of Popeyes. So
Mhm.
I was just like, gun ho on week one, and I had all this adrenaline. And then, so I had a whole bunch of contacts. And then this week it's just like reality set in. So that's my excuse.
What's reality? Expand on reality.
So since I have mostly women in here, Kevin, I'm just going to share this with you. It's not a win, but it's a good accountability for myself. I think this week 2 for me, made me realize that because I work from home, I need to be more disciplined and take it as a job. So my problem is I have this mom guilt, and having all these children, in the house, I had to, and I realized it this week because I saw my numbers from last week and I saw my numbers this week, and I was like, wow, like, but it was also because I wasn't giving my business the hours that I should have. So if I worked a 9 to 5, I would go to work 9 to 5. But if I'm at home, oh, well, there's laundry. Oh, well, there's dishes. Oh, well, the baby needs lunch. I could just do that one thing. That one thing takes 2 hours. So there was no discipline in my week. And so the win to that was accountability. Like I saw the numbers, I matched them. I was not proud of that. So it's like, okay, let's do better.
Yeah. Awesome. So what's the plan then? I mean, this kind of is a perfect segue into this week's topic of time management, prioritization. So what do you need to do to protect that time?
Use the calendar, the itemized calendar with the hours. That's more intentional, like lead generating from 9 to 11, no matter what. No emails, no, like don't get distracted. Like even if those 2 hours I can generate, or lead generate or do something towards my business, then at least it's not a wasted day. And then the other thing was not work from home. Leave the house. Yeah. Those are my answers.
Okay, good. Is anyone else struggling with the same thing?
Absolutely. She is not alone.
Okay.
Yes. I feel like everything she just said is one of my struggles too, because I'm taking my kids right now to practice. So I absolutely agree with everything that you said. That's a struggle for me, and that I have to do within my business as well. So you're not alone. We all feel that, I promise.
Thank you, Mama.
So and part of the videos was talking about it's not just business that you time block for or prepare for or schedule for. So Lakeisha, have you or Jamie, are you taking that to heart, and are you putting that family time in there to make sure it gets done but doesn't get in the way of your business?
Sorry. I do take it to heart, but like I said, I struggle with the time blocking for sure. Like that's one thing I know that I struggle with. And I watch the videos, and every time I'm watching the videos, I'm like, dang, like that's everything that he's saying, I've already said to myself. But it's just a matter of doing it and really getting it on my schedule, like how I see it in my mind. But it's just the reality of me just going in there to do it.
Yeah, the concept's a lot easier than the execution, right?
Exactly, yes.
So some people, it seems, are time management people, and other people are task management folks, meaning some people are good at just having these time blocks and working, okay, it's this time, I'm going to switch to this. Okay, it's this time and I can switch to that. And they can move real quickly with that. But what science tells us is, for a lot of people, at least, it takes 20 minutes for your brain to shift from one task to the next. And if you struggle with that, you might be a task-oriented person, meaning you're better at just prioritizing your to-do list, your tasks, and knocking them out one at a time based on, timeline or necessity or whatever is the most important in that day. What are your thoughts on that? Does anyone identify as one versus the other?
I don't know. I think I'm all over the place because I have in my mind, I say this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But when it's time for me to do it, I forget what I said I was going to do. And then I might check email and I might, oh, I need to do this and I go do this. Oh, I need to do this. I might do this. Even at work, I'm at work full time and I feel like I'm not even focused on my work because I'm in my phone doing real estate stuff while I'm at work. So I just feel like I'm all over the place. And maybe that's why I'm so overwhelmed too, because maybe if I put it on my calendar and have set times, maybe I won't be so overwhelmed.
Yeah. And put it on your calendar instantly, right? So then you don't
Right.
forget about it and it's there for you to remember.
Right.
Wow. So what's your big takeaway? Did you work on your ideal schedule this week, Tarsha?
I thought about it, but I didn't write it down. And I had my calendar, I have a physical calendar and I had it out and I knew I needed to do it. I still didn't do it.
Yeah.
Because I was just feel like I'm all over the place. So I feel like I'm all over the place.
Mhm.
So
Thank you for your honesty, Tarsha. You make me feel more sane.
yeah, I'm all over the place. You're welcome. I'm all over the place and I don't know I know what to do, but then I don't know what to do. And that's how I feel.
Well, I think when we're creating these ideal schedules, there is some experimentation. I can't really expect you guys to create an ideal schedule without actually going through a few weeks and tweaking it and changing it and figuring out what works and what doesn't work for you.
Yeah.
So I think the first step, right, is just to give it a shot. Get everything you can, or just commit to, okay, I'm in whatever system you need. Once I have an appointment, once I have something, it's going instantly onto my calendar. As many people say, if it's not on my calendar, it doesn't exist. And it's exactly what you're saying. Yeah, you best of intentions, but then life happens, 18 other things get scheduled,
Right.
and that's out the window.
Right. I'm gonna do that when we get off the call. I'm gonna do my schedule for the rest of the week.
Awesome. Who
Tarsha,
created
if you send me yours, I'll send you mine. You can
Okay.
be accountability partners. I'll do mine. I'll do at least 3 days. I can't promise you a whole week, but I'll start
Okay.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll give you my list
Okay.
and you give me yours.
Okay, we'll do that.
Awesome. So who completed the challenge? Did anyone actually map out the whole week of how you would ideally want that week to go?
I did.
Okay.
So much so that like I had like an epic parent fail. So I'm listening to what Tasha and the other lady was saying, and I was like, oh my God, I was trying to do real estate last night to make sure that, I sent over the information that was needed for the lender and then also get back with the customer, blah, blah, blah. That when I was done, I was so exhausted. I'm like, I'm going to bed. And my daughter's birthday was today or is today. And typically I like, decorate. I forgot. And then I was doing some more real estate stuff this morning. And it dawned on me right before I had to go to work. I'm like, I didn't even decorate. I didn't even get her donuts. But I wrote down several things that I had to do all for the business. And actually, one of what I had to do today was actually cancel because the person I was doing it with, a job came up, and so she had to take that. But we're like just kind of setting up, more things in the computer, basically looking, doing my callbacks of people that have reached out. I've had 3 more people to reach out, and I have call and I have reached out to them, but I wanted to do a follow-up. But I've been they've been telling me what they're looking for. So I've been writing it on the calendar. And then Thursday, I have a meeting with someone. And then Friday, before the weekend, I want to take one potential person that I want to help me with marketing. I'm taking her to lunch and talk about it. So yeah, always, something.
So it sounds like you're doing a good job with the business stuff, getting that stuff on the schedule. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, yeah, that I forget.
Yeah, so that you gotta
But
put
I
them all on
was
there, I
like,
think, right?
"Oh."
Put
Yeah,
that family time
no
on.
no one told me that starting out was just like, so it was a lot. It's a lot.
Mhm. Yeah,
It's a lot. So yeah.
and it was brought up to me, I like this perspective that, work-life balance, like, does that really exist? Probably not, like, it's never gonna be totally balanced, but can you find work-life harmony, understanding that sometimes you're gonna be giving more in one area than the other? And eventually that pendulum's gonna swing back the other way. Right? So I don't think you can be too hard on yourself if some weeks you're doing a lot more business stuff and then other weeks you're allowed to have more family time. And I think the challenge around that one a lot is to be present during that family time and make sure you actually enjoy it and that you
Yeah,
like that as well.
that's true.
So,
'Cause
go ahead.
oh no, nothing. Because I was just thinking because you said it, I said we did actually eat dinner together. So
Okay.
no, we did good. Never mind.
All right, so it looks like everybody still has to complete the challenge of creating that perfect schedule and give yourself the grace that sometimes you're going to have to make some adjustments, right? So that calendar should, if you're totally a time blocking person and you want a time block for everything, you still have to have white space, right? And what
Have
do I
what?
mean by that? White space.
Some breather room,
Yeah.
some decompressing, like
And some time, little chunks of time throughout the day where the paper's not filled in with pen, right? It's still white. If you're on the Gmail calendar, it's just an empty white block where you can take those calls that come in unexpectedly, answer those emails, but it's not disrupting your flow and your mental state once you're in a position and a task and you're really rocking and rolling on it.
Or some me time.
Yeah, you definitely need some me time.
And that's, so when you say white space or time to answer emails and calls,
Hmm.
so my thing is I'm constantly checking my emails. I'm checking it's all day. Even when I say I'm going to relax, I'm on my phone. I don't think I know how to relax because it's real estate 20, from the time I get up to the time I go to bed. So I may get up at 4. The first thing I'm going to do is get on my phone, or before I go to bed, I'm on my phone. And, I don't know how to take that time to just not do real estate. Or if somebody calls me, I answer every single phone call.
Yeah.
And I think that may be, it's good in a way, but then it's kind of bad in a way.
Mm-hmm. Right, I understand.
So,
well, your to-do list is never going to end, is it?
right.
So do you have that mindset and that assumption that, oh, I'm just going to keep doing stuff until my list is done?
Sometimes, but sometimes I feel like because I'm so new and I don't have many closings, I feel like I have to, in order for me to get to be a better realtor, I have to go hard right now. And that's what I feel like I need to do.
Yeah. And I think there is some truth to that. Like when you're starting out, you have to be a little bit more flexible. You
Right.
don't have the referrals, you don't have everything that allows you to be a little more structured and protective of your time.
Mm-hmm.
But that's your choice, right? And you got to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it goes back, Tarsha, I think it goes back to that video that we had this week about productive time and what was it? It's too productive
Busy.
time, busy time, yes.
Yes.
I get it. I totally get what you're saying. Because I'm guilty of it as well. However, this week I made it a point to write down everything that I plan to do on Sunday, put it on the calendar, right? The problem that I encounter is adding more to it. But what I've been doing is saying, you know what? I'm not going to add more to it. If
Yeah.
it's not already on the calendar, I'm not adding more to it because it's just going to throw me off. So it's hard. I'm working on that now. It's hard, and it's hurting.
Yeah.
Want to do everything, but you're going to have to say no, because that productive time and busy time is a big deal. Because I can see, like you're saying, I'm new at a minute, you're gonna have to stop saying I'm new. You're just gonna have to get to the point of saying, okay, I gotta get this done. I can't take on anything else because you're the
Right.
of your business, right? So
Mhm.
you're gonna have to handle it like a boss and say, okay, I can't get to that. Let me take care of my business, you know.
Right. Right. That's true.
I'm not perfect by no means. I'm learning myself. So it's just what I've experienced this week. So far.
Right.
That's great.
Okay, good. Thank you.
So I think there's some value in what we're doing with tracking the numbers too, because if you come out of this week or next week and you feel like you were doing real estate the whole time, and then you look at your numbers and you don't have 25 contacts, you haven't written 10 handwritten notes, you haven't had the conversations, then are you being, as Julie mentioned, busy, or are you being productive? Right. And what I have seen, especially this week, the people that did well with their contacts or did well with handwritten notes also did well in the other areas. And a lot of the people that had some zeros had a few zeros across the board. What do you guys think about that?
Numbers don't lie.
It's true. No emotion to it, right? Just tell it like it is. But why is it that the people that excelled in one area also did well with the other tasks, and some people that didn't do so well that showed up in all the different tasks as well?
I think if you hit your 5 contacts, there's no way, especially if you're engaging, there's no way to not have a follow-up conversation. There's no way to not schedule a lunch. Like as you do your homework, this is stuff that goes along with your homework, like your MVPs. I'm trying to acquire these people. So how do I go about that? How do I know their work for my business if I don't sit down and have a conversation with them? It all falls into place, you know? So like if you're doing one thing and you're doing the next one, then it's just going to flow into the other one. Because my zeros went straight down this week and I was like, oh my God. So I get it. I'm feeling, but it's good because now there's a standard. And when I don't meet that standard, I'm like, oh, it's a self thing, you know? I could have done better.
Yeah. So there's some momentum, right? Like if you get some momentum in one area, that energy carry over to the next one. And even like if you read these books, Power of Habits, one of them, it tells you that same thing. And it doesn't even have to be in business. Like a lot of people in real estate, they're so busy that their exercise and their health suffers, or their spirituality and that sort of thing suffers, those different segments of their life. And even improvements in those areas can help lead to improvements and being more efficient and effective in other areas, such as your business. Right. So there is carryover, there is that momentum, and that's why you have to protect and schedule not just your own time for your business, but also your time for family and the other aspects of your life that are important and that all feed into each other. You know. So who liked the idea of the predetermined slots? Like, I know that I'm going to have Tuesday and Thursday from 4 to 7:30 for showings, and Wednesday morning from 10 to 12. That way, if someone calls, I can just reactively and instinctually get that muscle memory going, knowing I can go right to those positions, schedule appointments. I have times that work for everybody and myself, and it's not going to cause as much interruption. Whereas if I had to fit it in, move a bunch of other stuff around, then stuff gets pushed back, I have that chunk of time reserved for the possibility of appointments. What do you think about that? Is that a good idea?
It's a great idea. It's a great idea. I just got to get there.
Okay. All you have to do is put it on the calendar and then stick to it.
Get some.
That's the tricky part, right?
Yeah.
So let's say you start implementing that, and Tuesday 10 to 12 rolls around and you don't have any appointments, then what do you do with that time?
You lead generate.
Yes. You reprioritize, take care of things, get ahead of things, stay productive and not busy. So right now, if your goal truly is to have 5 contacts a day, we finished week 2. What does that mean mathematically based on our 5 to 25 challenge, based on that 2% conversion rate? That's 25 contacts for 2 weeks straight, which is 50 contacts. We know there's a 50 contact to 1 deal ratio. So that means if you were effective over these past 2 weeks and you did hit your contacts, you have planted the seed, if not secured, your next contract already. Time flies. It's a little low energy. Is this reflective low energy? Is it just me?
Oh, we're
Be
listening.
Yeah.
Kevin, we didn't hit our numbers. We have been honest about this. We're soaking in the fails right now. We're taking it in.
We're saying what we can
taking it
do
like Kevin.
differently.
We're just realizing we're gonna do better, but we're just soaking
Right.
it in. Okay? At least you have us. At least we're here. Like, okay,
We're here, right?
No, I love it. And I wasn't
We're
being
showing up. We're showing
accusatory. I was just curious because sometimes when it is quiet, it is that like, okay, you're thinking about stuff. And the reason you're quiet is because you're processing, seeing what you can do. So I just want to hear what you guys are thinking right now.
Yeah, we're processing.
Definitely processing.
Better.
For sure. Mhm.
I'm
Julie,
processing that I need help with time management. I just, no.
okay. Well, what's your biggest challenge then, Maria, with it?
The biggest challenge is I see my calendar, I put things and things happen. Life happens. I get calls from my kids are adults, but they're in California and Colorado. So I get calls. There's some personal issues there that they're dealing with.
Mhm.
And so they decide to call me. And one of those situations right now, I have to take the call when they call in the
Okay.
time zone. And so, or other things happen, like they said, or like, oh, it's 2 o'clock. I need to go cook kind of thing. And then I stray away, but then I feel like I spent 8, 9 o'clock rolls around. I'm still checking emails. And I'm like, well, I feel like I think honestly, what this made me realize is I feel like I'm doing, like you said, a lot of times real estate, but it's like so many hours, but what really did I do to lead gen?
Mhm.
Or to, contact or to get a client,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does that mean you're going to start tracking your numbers to actually know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I mean, some things you can't control that. If your family has to talk to you at that time, then you have to talk to them at that time, right? It's what do you do with that task that it replaced? Does that just go away or does that get moved to a new spot on the calendar?
Well, I have to move it to a new spot on the calendar.
Are you doing that?
Right now?
Courtney?
No.
Okay. All
Right
right.
now, I'm just trying to keep up.
Yeah. And sometimes I think those stuff that's busy work and that you keep putting to the bottom of your to-do list, sometimes if it's not essential, you just got to be honest with yourself, right? All right, that's clearly not a priority right now. I have to stop beating myself up over that. Let me do this productive stuff and enjoy these wins and understand that, yeah, that's something I could be doing, but is that what I need to be doing, and find some peace with that, right? I'm not saying the important stuff, but that growing list of these little to-dos is sometimes overwhelming.
I have a question. As it pertains to, making the time to make those phone calls, right? And you've called someone who at one time was interested, you're messaging them, sending them the handwritten letter, if it's text or whatever, but I know you're saying handwritten.
Well, any form's fine, yeah.
Okay, so I did that, right? But no response. I'm not sure how to navigate to continuing. I don't want to be overbearing with reaching out to them. I reached out to them on Mother's Day. I didn't say anything about real estate, right?
Mhm.
So this week, well, the end of last week, I revisited and said, hey, I just wanted to check in to see, where you are with your real estate needs. I know once we talked about it, crickets, right? So I want to reach out to her again, but I don't want to be overbearing with that. What kind of pace would you put between the time of doing that?
I mean, I think it depends on the situation, the person, right? But have you tried different methods? Or is it always always a text, always an email, always a handwritten note? Or are you switching up the way you contact her?
Yeah, because I've called, I've texted, but I have an email. So I guess go ahead and try the emailing her and see if I get a response.
And then
from her.
eventually you just gotta accept it, right? Say, hey, I tried to get in touch. Hope you're doing well. Hope we talk soon. Something effect, I'll reach out to you at a later time. I can tell this isn't a good time.
What about what I do when I have clients like that? I just add them on a drip campaign.
Yeah.
So they still get the emails. But a lot of times, they'll see it. They may not respond, but they'll eventually respond.
Yeah.
Julie, I wanted to touch base because that was really big for me last week. I felt really defeated. I spoke to my mentor because I there was about 17 leads that I was focusing on that week, and one person responded, and it felt really defeated. So I just wanted to touch base on something that I did that actually worked really well for me. Was I made them a personal video. And girl, you always look fabulous. Like your outfits, your hair, all of that is always on point. So I highly suggest that you do it. But I went outside. It was a beautiful day, and I was just like, hey, Oscar, this is Jami. I haven't got the chance to touch base with you. And I was just myself. And I was a face to the text messages and the calls that have been kindly harassing him. And I did, even if it was like, LOL, oh, hi, Jami. And then, very brief, but there was way more response with the video text messages than any of my previous, because that's what I'm going, like, I'm just hitting dead ends and, crickets. And Tanika says they're just not nows. They're not no's, they're just not now until someone tells you, leave me alone, girl. So I try to put that in my pocket and hold on to that because I felt very defeated last week when no one was responding.
Thank you. I'll try the video.
Mhm. And I think Jami brought up a good point. Not now. And Tarsha was kind of saying the same thing. Like, it's not that they don't see that and don't see you reaching out. It just might not be the time for them. So you could do a little blast, be consistent, give them a little time and a little space, and then set a reminder to get back to them in a month or so, All right, what else? What other challenges around time management, prioritization, or what's working for you guys?
The scripting, been going through those with helping with conversations on the phone. So one of the team, someone from TDRealty, I do scripting with every Tuesday since this has been going on. Well, we'll do one today at 8:00. We have a time that we do it. We set a time for it. So that's been working with us going through the practice of it. So when I get on the phone with a potential client, I feel confident and comfortable talking to that person.
Cool. Will you do me a favor? Next week, this coming week, is about scripts. And when we meet next week, will you share what's been working for you?
Okay.
That'd be great. I'm sure everyone wants to hear it. And that goes for everyone else too. With the scripts being next week, if you have one that works, if you have one that you want to try, please bring them and be ready to share. Okay. All right. So we've kind of talked through this, but I think the big question of the week was, does your calendar reflect your goals?
It does not.
Did you realize that before this week's material?
I did, but I think it just hit me during this call
Okay.
of what I really need to focus on and be more intentional
All right.
with my time.
So let's go around the room because it seems like everyone's feeling kind of the same way. And you guys really did take to the videos pretty well. Jackie, if you want to stay on it at the end for a minute, I'll show you how to find them and everything. Okay. And I just want to hear one thing that you're going to apply over this next week to help address the issues with time management. And we'll start with Gina.
Hi. Energy level really low. So I did my calendar, but I didn't follow it. And I wanted to fight week 2 because I felt like it was talking directly to me. I was making a bunch of excuses, and then one video said, stop making excuses. And then I was like, I wish that it was easier. And then another video told me, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. So it was like, So yeah, this week I felt like I was boxing with week 2.
Okay, fair enough. So what's going to change this coming week to make you just a little bit better at prioritization and time management?
I guess stop with my excuses. I mean, there's nothing else than get out there.
Okay. Julie, you're next on my screen.
So I believe that my calendar is getting there somewhere reflects what my goals are. I have to stop feeling guilted if something else comes in and I couldn't get, I couldn't add them to the calendar because I'm really trying to stick to just what is on the calendar. So I feel like I'm getting there. So, and I also feel like mine is somewhat reflecting what my goals are. So
That's awesome.
I feel pretty good about where I'm going.
Cool. That's great. So Maria, you kind of answered. Is it you're going to actually, if something gets erased, it's going to get replaced somewhere else? All right. I'm writing this down. All right, Jackie, what are you going to do?
So for me, it would be like making, I have tried this in the past with the former brokerage that I was with. And for me, I have a full-time job too. So for me, it's kind of making it more realistic. So like, if 20 doesn't work, like what is going to work, right? Because I find myself sometimes overcommitting myself. And so when I come around to those people that, like, let's say I say, hey girl, I reach out to somebody and I say, hey girl, let's get together. And then like, I don't schedule anything. They're like waiting for me and they're like, girl, you said we were going to get together. Like what happened? And I'm just like, shit, sorry. I'm like, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, and I catch myself apologizing for the stuff that I can't get to, and so anyway, it just becomes a big old mess. And then I feel guilty. So, like I got to do like more attainable goals for me, like, maybe scheduling myself, maybe I can't do, 5 coffees a week. Maybe I can do 2 coffees a week or 3 coffees a week, right? And maybe not, 2 dinners or 1 dinner a week, or something like that.
I think that's smart, right?
Yeah.
Get some attainable goals, hit those goals. And when you get to the point that you're hitting those, then reassess, am I truly where I'm at?
Right.
Or do I have to change, right?
Right.
And I think what makes this week so hard and what makes this the whole concept so hard is it's not managing time, right? It's like changing habits and creating new habits. And that's the hard part.
Yeah.
So,
And then like for me, like also like, and then it's like, okay, well, I gotta factor in family time and I want to lose weight too. And I want to get on the treadmill and I want to be with my friends, it's like, oh, it's like,
right, yeah.
anyways, those are my challenges, guys.
Yeah, you're not alone. All right. Lakeisha, you're next.
Okay. So for me, like I said, time management, I'm gonna actually put it on my calendar, and maybe like when I forget, I could probably schedule an alarm to where it alerts me on my phone to do what I'm needing to do.
Okay.
Because like everybody else has said, the family time, having a full-time job, doing real estate, all of that kind of puts us all over the place.
Mhm.
So I do tend to forget stuff too, and reaching out to people. And then, like you said, I just like, oh my God, I forgot to call. Maybe having an alert to alert me to make that call or to reach out to somebody and take them out to lunch and all of that. So I will alert myself to do what I need to do.
I love it. Jamie.
Did you call me?
Oh, Jamie's first, and then
Oh,
I'll
I'm
get.
sorry. I didn't,
Yeah.
wasn't sure what you said.
Mhm.
I met with my mentor today and she asked to look at my calendar because I told her about it. She's like, well, let me see it. And I showed it to her. And she asked me something. This is not for you people who have a full-time job, right? If you guys, that's, but she asked me, she said, do you do this full-time? I said, I do. And she said, well, let me see your calendar. Oh, y'all, that was brutal. So then I showed her my calendar. Clearly, her face just showed disappointment right away. And she said, what's going on? And of course, you know, all this. And she said, Jami, if you had a 9-to-5, when you worked in corporate and when you had 9-to-5, are you able to do your laundry? Are you able to take calls? Are you able to walk away? And no, I could. And she's like, well, why didn't you? I said, well, because I wanted to do my job well. I wanted, you know, my performance to be good. I wanted to get a raise. She said, so why are you not worth that? So why was your corporate job worth that discipline and that work? Why are you not worth it? And Kevin, that has resonated with me for the last 4 hours. So I want to share that with anyone, if that makes any sense. And, you know, if anybody comes from the corporate world, you know, you have these rules and regulations and you follow them, and you can't take your kids' phone calls. You know, I would pick up them like, hey, I'm working. Do you need anything? Is it an emergency? No. Okay, bye. And then I would push that aside and do my job. I do not have that discipline for myself or my business. And she said, why not? Why are you not worth it? And I didn't have an answer for that. So I just wanted to share that because it hit me hard. Like I've been thinking about it. So I wanted to share that with anyone. And I think that is going to help me for the next week is, you know, whatever I put in is what I'm going to get out. And my business and my children and my family, it is worth it. It is worth more than the corporate world. So that's what I'm going to do differently is just go into it. One, actually be intentional about writing it down. And two, raising my worth or realizing that this is my business. It is worth it. So pretty much just changing my perspective could help me be a little bit more successful next week.
Love that. Thank you. Tamala.
Well, if I really have to be honest, I mean, I'm trying, but I think too that maybe, you know, maybe I should not shy away from, because I'm not shy. I don't know why I'm even saying that, but I do kind of have reservations when I kind of start up, you know, conversations with people, and, you know, I don't want them to think that I'm just, you know, another salesperson trying to, you know, make it big. But my heart really and truly wants to help people, you know, become homeowners, because it is a wonderful feeling. It is very exciting. But I want to also, you know, have people to really know that the information that, you know, I see or I give or they give is confidential, because I feel like a lot of people, you know, don't want to give you information because they know you're going to know their business, right? But I need to work on how to make that comfortable and saying. In fact, I used it last night with my customer, you know, and she goes, listen, I don't care. She said, I want you to know, because that's the way, you know, I could secure a home. So just knowing, but I need to just kind of clear my calendar a little bit more, maybe not take in some, invitations. I can, not go to something so that I can just do, focus on maybe real estate for, that particular week or whatever. But I kind of do. I mean, Tasha, I, and Angela actually went to 2 open houses this weekend just to, see how, other people host, or at least that's where I went. But we really had a good time, and it was, I've learned some things. I was kind of just checking out the home. So it kind of, the first home that I went to, I asked myself, okay, how would you present this home to, potential buyers? I mean, so, I am kind of chasing it.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
fair enough. All right, Tarsha, how are you gonna, what's one thing you need to do this week to better manage or prioritize your time?
Be more intentional with my time. And as when Julie said that I'm just maybe not being busy, but I forget what she said, but I think I just being busy and not productive enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I'm going to make my calls. I'm going to do my calendar when we get off the call, but I'm going to make my calls, script practice, and work on my time management. So I should have better
I didn't
results.
say you weren't productive.
I mean, you didn't say that, but
Mhm.
about the
Alright.
video, about being busy,
Yeah.
not me per se, but the video.
And
All right.
Julie, I just wish that I was wherever you are. Like, I just wish I was there. I mean, just so you know.
What do you mean you wish you were?
With the palm trees, you're
That-
saying?
What is that
Oh,
background?
that's a string. That's just the what do you call it? The backdrop thing. It's in your, you probably find it in your backgrounds.
I'm thinking you are like on a beach, like literally in this.
In my
Okay.
head.
I was like, I want to be there, but
In
yeah.
my head.
Okay, well, it's nice.
Mhm. All right, Marion, you're up. What do you got to do this week?
I gotta wake up earlier for one.
Okay.
Because I usually have to get my boys out to school by 8, and I'm up late, like 1 a.m. So I typically sleep till like 7:30, and then I'm up like, hurry up, brush your teeth, so we can get out. And I'm rushing them because I woke up late. So I want to change that to waking up maybe like 5 a.m. and going to bed earlier, but I'm used to that because I just am, and that's what I've always done, work late. I will be honest, I missed a lot of this because I was on a very important phone call, so I kept turning my camera off.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta get a schedule. Like I'm shifting from 9 to 5 to entrepreneurship, and you will probably think I'm used to it now because I quit my job at the end of 2021, but there was 20 years of me being in that life. So I'm gonna put myself on a schedule that I was on when I was working for somebody else. And making my time like 8 to 8:30 after I drop the boys off. I'm figuring out which contacts I'm gonna contact that day. And then from 10 to maybe 1, I'm calling those people that I selected to call that day. And basically time blocking and making a hard cutoff because I'm always working past the time that I said I was going to quit. It's making a schedule for myself. That's what I got to do, and I got to stick to it.
Yeah. All right. So we're experiencing a lot of the same stuff, and as we said, it's just rebuilding those habits, recommitting to yourselves, and treating yourselves as your own bosses, right? Being your own managers. So as we see, I think we're only 2 weeks in, but I think the concept of simple but not easy is being felt this week, and it's something you're going to be feeling over the next 10 weeks too. as you kind of get yourselves in a row, build up your business and get yourselves to where you want to be. So take this all in stride, learn from it, be better from it. And after 12 weeks, you can have some awesome businesses going. Fair enough?
Yes, and Kevin, we really are appreciative for this. So if we're quiet, that really is, I think all of us will agree that we're just thinking. So it's nothing reflecting about you. So
Yes.
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
Yes.
And I understand that. Yeah, sometimes it's a good thing when people are quiet because you are absorbing it and stuff. But I appreciate you saying that. And I appreciate you guys too, and you guys showing up and committing to this and being better each time I see you. All right. So you guys have a great week. I'm going to show Jackie a couple things if anybody wants to hang out, but if not, you guys are welcome to wrap it up for tonight. Okay. Next week is scripts. So if you have a good one you want to share, please bring it, share it with the bunch, and then we'll have some fun next week. All right.
Great, thank you.
All
right.
Bye, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. I'm hanging out with Jackie.
Me too.
Okay,
I want to
cool.
see.
Good.
What, yeah.
Well, she just needs some help getting in there and figuring out how to access everything. Is that correct, Jackie? All right, cool. So are you at the point where you've received your email, your welcome email? Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Mhm.
All right. Give me 1 second. I'm just pulling it up here. All right, what's a little funky? There's two ways you can find the program.
Mhm.
The first one, you can just type track in here and search. So if you're looking at what I had to do is actually decrease my screen size to be like 75% or 80. If not, this billboard is all you see. And no matter what you click on the left, it looks like nothing changes. But what changes is down here in the courses that are available. The other option and the actually better, easier way to find it in a way is go to this For Agents tab.
Uh-huh.
And then you go right down and click on Track Plus.
Okay.
So I clicked on it, it's just a little slow when I'm on Zoom. So now look, it looks like, that's what I was talking about. It looks exactly the same. Like, well, what even changed, right? But it's down here that something changed.
Okay.
Okay.
So once you click on the program, everything you need is right within here. So this first section, start here. That's where you're going to get all your stuff. So that's got your workbook. That's got the script booklet, getting started checklist, just so you make sure you have all the stuff you need. Workbook, for example, click on that and it'll be right here in a digital form. And if you hit this little button up here, then you can download it onto your computer.
Okay.
From there, each week is broken up by the videos. And it shows you how long the videos are. So it's easy to time block for how much viewing of the videos you have to do.
Okay.
And you'll see this says stop and complete.
Mhm.
That means that there's something you need to do in the workbook. For this one, for the agent job description, you're just reading over it and signing it, just committing to doing that every day.
Okay.
All right. Now, you'll see these blue dots once in a while.
Mhm.
These are things we've added since we last updated the workbook. So they're just not in there. So you just have to download them from here. The 71 ways to add clients to your database. That's simply ideas just to get the brain going.
Okay.
This calculator is the one we were talking about. When you download it, you can plug in how much money you want to make, what your average sale is, all that stuff, and figure out what your goal is, right? Like if your goal is not 5, you found out that at your sale price and working the amount of days you want to work, that's actually 3, or maybe once you get to be a go-getter and you've hit those little benchmarks and you're ready to take it on full speed, it might be higher. But this will really let you fine tune and figure out, okay, what's my goal? Because I said this before, I didn't say it tonight, but I could tell you to have 5 contacts till I'm blue in the face. It's not going to make you have 5 contacts. You need to tie that number to these exercises down here specifically.
Okay.
The 5 to 20, or not the 5 to 25. You have to do the success and apology letters in week 1. and your big why. And if you can tie that number of contacts a day to why you're doing this in the first place, that's going to keep you motivated a lot better than me
Okay,
harping on you every week, right?
yes.
So does this all make sense?
Yes, and I think I bought the book. It's just that I was on vacation, so I gotta dig through the Amazon boxes and it just came.
Fair enough. Yeah. Cool. So if you have any other questions, just let me know. And
Thank
I'll be
you.
happy to walk you through it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for showing me.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
Alrighty.
Tamala, do you have any questions?
No, I think I'm good. I actually have the book though.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's
Yeah,
right.
so I'm good.
Yeah, it is helpful to kind of have that
Yeah,
physical
yeah,
Yes.
I have the book.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Have a
Yeah.
good evening. Thank
have a
you.
great night. All right,
Bye-bye.